their pie so someone else can have more. Well, hello and welcome back, Karl Marx. A redistribution of pie doesn't make me feel any better. Thanks, but no thanks, Michelle. When it comes to pie or money, I'll take all I can get. I want all my pie. I should be able to keep my pie. And you know what? I want you to have a huge piece of pie as well. Have the whole thing. It's not because I'm selfish. I'm not. Unlike the Obamas, I happen to give away more than 1% of my income to charity. The bottom line is this. Success and money, it's not finite. This is America. That's not a zero-sum game. There's as much as you feel like working for it. You know, you've got to look at money and success as the ocean. It doesn't hurt the ocean to back a dump truck up to it and take a bunch of water out of it. There's more. Stand in line, go get it. Let's stop thinking about pieces of pie. And remember that if you wanted to look at it as pie, this is America. We're a frickin' bakery. Bake more. Make as many pies as you want. Mark Stein is the author of America Alone, The End of the World as We Know It. It's out in paperback this week, and you got to read this book if you never have. Why? Because Canada's trying to ban it. Mark, talk to me about this pie stuff. I think there is hidden language in especially Michelle Obama. Her language is riddled with socialism.
Yeah, I think she's a conventional university socialist. And you're right, I give enough of my pie to the federal government, and they waste most of that pie. So when she's talking about universal health care and revamping and reforming education, by any reasonable measure, American education is overfunded. We spend more per student on public school education than any country except Switzerland, and we have nothing to show for it. By any reasonable measure, a third of the pie that is thrown at public education is completely wasted.
First of all, there's two things. You want to go talk about public education. I just read something, it's in Hartford, it's in New York now. I think they're doing it in Maryland. They're starting to pay kids to go to school.
That's right.
Don't take any more money from me, man. You're going to have to take it with a shotgun. You're not taking any more money from me.
No, it's a complete waste. We would be better off enrolling them in these schools in Switzerland. It would be cheaper to actually board America's students in Switzerland, and at least they get a decent education there. By any reasonable measure, the pie is wasted. And that's the point. If you believe in redistribution, who does the redistributing? The government. The government's an inefficient spender of money.
You know, look, here's the thing. I'm tired of it. Tell me how big my piece of pie has to be. Tell me how much I have to get. Tell me what the top is. Right now, we have in the real story tonight, we're going to give you the stats on this. The top 10% of America, the top 10% pays 70% of the tax bill.
That's right.
The bottom 50 only pays 3%, and the bottom 48 get money back.
Yeah, and
it's insane.
And Michelle Obama understands this, because just a couple of weeks ago, this crazy woman was saying that she and her husband had a hard time paying for their kids' piano lessons because they only earn $500,000 a year between them. You know, so on the one hand, it's America's fault that she and her husband can't get by on a lousy $500,000 a year. Why is that? Because the government takes too much of it.
Let me ask you that, or you're really bad at budgeting. Either way, I don't want you in the Oval Office. Let me give you this. And you just tell me what we're missing here in Michelle Obama's language. Listen to this. Quote, this is from the UCLA speech she gave. And Barack Obama will require you to work. He is going to demand that you shed your cynicism, put down your division, that you come out of your isolation, that you move out of your comfort zones, that you push yourselves to be better, and that you engage. Barack will never allow you to go back to your lives as usual, uninvolved and uninformed. My gosh.
Yes, exactly. It's soft, fluffy totalitarianism. The right to be uninvolved, the right to be left alone is one of the most precious rights in a constitutional republic. And if she wants me to shed my cynicism, she's going to have to prize it from my cold, dead, cynical fingers. This is Kim Jong-il dressed up with a bit of Oprah Winfrey dressing. It's unbecoming of an American presidential candidate.
I just wish these candidates would go back and read the words of the Founding Fathers. You have a right to fail. You have a right to starve to death. The government is not the person to come in and tell you how to live your life. If you want to fail, there are a lot of people that, hold themselves up in the woods in a cabin and like, I'm going to sit here and eat my tin cans. That's exactly what you have a right to do in America.
Yeah, and that's the most precious right. And I wouldn't mind if she was saying we need 300 million self-reliant, engaged citizens out there, but she just wants 300 million cheerleaders for a messianic president. Sorry, count me out.
Thank you very much, Mark. Appreciate